I'm broke the boss, I flipped the script. Super Trucker Podcast got me fully equipped. Left the noise behind, now I'm stacking green. Voyager Nation made me live the dream.
Pushing the limits in trucking, what does that mean to an owner-operator? Let's talk about it. So it comes in many shapes and sizes. As far as in the business sense, is it all about hustle, creativity, or bending the rules? What's the real way to make money?
Whatever it takes to make money. So I guess all of it.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like PCing all over God's creation. Come on, man.
No, I'm not talking about that. But when it comes down to the plan, to the execution, to the logistics and everything else, I think being open-minded to things and having all your options always open is going to get you much further than having a very boxed-in business plan, because then you're just very, very limited. And the beauty about this owner-operator business, the way we do it, the way I see it, that's by putting yourself in a nice little box with a nice lid, you're throwing away
so much opportunity.
all the best aspects of that business.
Yeah.
And keeping the worst.
Yeah, and so and I think part of that creativity that you're talking about, you have to have a certain skill set where you got to know when it's worth going that extra mile to solve a problem, or just letting shit go and moving on and putting energy and effort towards another solution, because sometimes feelings can get involved, and now you're trying to fit this square in a peg, and now you don't even know what you're fighting for anymore, and it's just a lose-lose situation. So that discipline is pretty important in what we talk about here. Kind of like what our guy had said in the comment, Lewis, staying at a receiver for 7 hours and then violating all kinds of shit to make it delivery on time. He thinks it's about getting there on time.
Yes, but again, I only think that specific reason was just because also it was convenient for him. However, to me, the broken part of that specific situation is exactly that. You are the shipper don't have their shit together. So we cause this headache to your business, your owner-operator business, and the best decision that you can come up with is to put your own business at risk, your driving record at risk, all kinds of liabilities at risk, put your carrier in a bad position, just to be able to please the same people that caused this problem to begin with, to still meet their expectations. And then the life catches up with you, you're blaming all the wrong people instead of actually, you have to recognize who's the enemy here and work accordingly. And it's not about, proving a point or anything like that. You just go about your business in a professional way, but recognize who caused this problem and why are you so hell-bent on still meeting their expectations by putting everything, including yourself and your business, in jeopardy.
I think one of that is because the art of it is how do you push for solutions like that. And in his, I get what the guy's trying to do. He's not trying to burn bridges with the shipper, receiver, and all of that. So he
doesn't even have bridge with that.
Exactly, but like that's the thing. Like that is what the dispatcher for them should be doing. So pushing the limits should be the negotiation prior to any of this happening. Bringing up, hey, this A, B, and C has to happen before I even take this load.
Yes, and also we don't know the situation because maybe the dispatcher didn't do his job too. Because maybe the dispatcher kept telling him still, no, just try to make it, man.
Yeah.
Instead of fighting also the people that are causing this problem to get compensated and to do it legally, maybe dispatcher decided the same thing, that it's a great idea to still try to make it somehow.
Yeah. So that goes back to we had a situation a few years ago where so dispatcher was actually our guy was supposed to be emptied. So a couple of days go by. This guy's not. It was almost going to be a couple of days that this guy has not gotten unloaded. So pulled a call. That we find out that the way the broker was talking, we weren't pushing the limits as hard as we could have. So I do believe that we wasted at least one day, in us getting unloaded, and the actual broker, we were speaking to that guy's boss, which is a manager, and he's like, listen, man, pull the call. Let me hear it. You tell me when my guy actually said that he will get unloaded at this time in the guarantee. And then when we pulled the call, the guy was very good at just being vague, very good at pretending he's offering you a solution and a result. And here we go. We didn't push hard enough. We just fell in love with the sweet words. And that was a learning experience for that individual and everybody involved.
And that's what weak dispatcher will cost you.
Yeah.
Because in that specific situation, driver was probably more than reasonable and more than patient. But also somehow the dispatcher got lost somewhere, and in his or her feelings, somehow thinking that it's about pleasing the customer, the broker, something like that, instead of getting things done and effectively moving forward. So yeah, I can see that. I think your dispatcher, your operations team has a lot more to do with overall success than what you think, because those situations, if handled properly, first of all, in trucking, can we be avoided? Yes, most of them can, not all of them, because it's trucking. There are more people than just you and your dispatcher. But if you have strong team behind you, a lot of those problems can be either avoided or solved very, very effectively once you already all the way in that shit.
Yeah, so for example, even so when we talk about pushing harder, it also depends. There's no cookie cutter, my people. Like for example, on another situation just this week, we have a local cat picks up, going to make delivery. Receiver's like, this thing, we're not supposed to get this thing until 2 days from now. And we're full, man. And so, okay, so now we're in it, right? But again, our approach is going to be depending on the resources we have and what we can do. So, all right, we're going to need more money for this. Broker doesn't need to know we can bring it back to our yard, drop it here, stage it, give them another one, and keep it moving on another trailer. They're still going to pay for that because that's their mistake. But again, that's that pushing, the thriving, coaching the owner-operator through that. Bro, relax. We're going to allow them to think they're kind of getting over on us because the broker's like, man, that's all we got to pay. You know what I mean?
Because at the end of the day, in a situation like this, you can actually get in something that seems like a bad situation. You can get paid for it while making money on the side. So that's all good. Sometimes it can go less than ideal, because if that same situation is happening in Oregon, you're in a different position because you don't have a staging yard there.
Yeah,
you don't have other trailers there, but still depends how you approach it, depends what the situation is. If you have a good dispatcher, the options are always going to be on the table. First of all, get paid for the extra time. Second of all, maybe there is a way to drop off that trailer and squeeze in some power only load. Maybe a cross dock. Maybe something else. Maybe there is another truck coming into that area that needs a reset, and you guys can swap trailers and do it that way. There is always a solution to every problem, as long as you have all your options open, and as long as your dispatcher is a problem solver
and willing willing to work the problem.
Because I've seen like a lot of people. I'm gonna sound like my grandma right now, but like a lot of these new generation people.
Shit.
That when you approach, like when you address the problem from a different angle, let's say the guy that only does the dispatcher that only does load board, one pick, one drop, drive in, and now you sprinkle a little bit. Listen, see if there is anything that he can do with power only there. And we look at you like a deer in the headlights.
Like, what, when, where, what, today?
And man, it's just it's not very motivating, to come across that. But hopefully your dispatcher is not that. If you need a dispatcher who's not going to be like a deer in the headlights, give us a call, 863-342-5171, because our dispatcher can put your dispatcher in the headlights.
Yeah, and also, guys, moving on to the next topic right here, when and how. So in your book, when should that dispatcher, first off, they have to be willing. to call the receiver to solve problems. And that there's an art to that as well, though.
Yes, because in this game of trucking, especially in our arena of like spot market brokers, shippers, owner operators, this extreme flexibility of things, I think that utilizing that flexibility is a must. And I see a lot of people, we want to be in this cookie cutter scenarios all the time. And anything outside the cookie cutter is just we are unable to do it somehow, some way. I don't know.
Now, not to be misinterpreted, because there's a bunch of people watching. Like, this doesn't mean you call there like just raving and ranting and being incoherent.
No.
This is strategy, man. Like, there's
like you need to address every individual differently. Let's say if I'm solving a problem, right? I'm gonna talk to two different people, and I'm gonna talk to them so differently because I'm gonna feel them out. I'm gonna test them a little bit. I'm gonna see who am I dealing with.
Yeah. You gotta know.
And then I will act accordingly. I will act accordingly with a situation on hand, with a situation with my owner operator who is in that scenario with me. Mm-hmm. Because if my owner operator is just like a deer in the headlights, the same way, just like takes all the options from me, I'm going to be handicapped.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to do shit. Mm-hmm. But if my owner operator is a team player and he's like, bro, let's get it done. Cool, let's do it. Now we have more options because you already have two people on board.
Yeah.
Now you just have to feel out the people that causing you the headache. So the broker, the shipper, the receiver. Just gauge everybody and act accordingly. Because, for example, not because I'm like some, two-faced motherfucker, but because I think I'm effective problem solver for the most part. I may deal with two different people, very different ways, as long as it gets me what I need to get for my owner operator. That's it.
Yeah.
And if these two people would like hear those conversations recorded, we would think we're talking to two different people.
Yeah, for sure. And when we say everybody involved in the party, so I have dealt with in the past where, a lot of brokers have come, like they cross over and they start dispatching and all of that, and man, I have seen like the resistance to call a receiver. And, they're like, you can't do that. I'm like, give me the phone. Says who? But they have this respect for this thing of magical rules that, like, man, what are you doing? Like, get the fucking problem solved. I'm not there trying to, if I'm there calling to try to steal this dedicated lane or whatever the fuck. Like, I'm not trying to steal business. I'm trying to solve a problem.
Yes.
A minute problem that probably doesn't go beyond the shipping department.
Because how many times I was solving a problem that the broker said it's not gonna go the way I presented it, and I'm like, okay, well, fuck you, motherfucker. And now I'm calling directly to a shipper or receiver. I'm not lying, nor I'm telling the truth, but I'm maneuvering my way through this to where we get shit done in a more effective way than the broker who is afraid to talk to his own freaking customer can solve. Because, and I get it, the reason he's afraid of that is because probably somebody above him who holds the account is gatekeeping it, and nobody talks to the customer but me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now it turns into this very toxic environment to where maybe that customer would not cause these problems if we knew that this is causing problems, but because everybody is afraid to talk to him,
nothing's getting done. Yeah.
Nothing is getting done, and something that could be very good becomes very toxic and very chaotic and very bad for trucking in general, or for you, owner operator, in the middle of that. So I would say, like one thing, like anytime I come across, especially the dispatchers that come from other companies here, like that oh, but we cannot call the customer, it says in the whatever, in the rate confirmation of the contract. I'm like, fuck, man, like you're not gonna live very long.
But again, we're not doing it ill-intended, right? So you have to have, like, just like you said, right, like, how do you get past the gatekeeper?
Yes, because
You gotta somehow.
Yes, if you're calling the customer, first of all, I have no business with your customer, because first of all, that's your customer. I respect that. Second of all, I'm not calling your customer to snatch it from you. I'm calling your customer to solve a problem that my driver is involved with, because you're not helping me. And I can probably do it better than you. So here we go. We're calling the customer. We're solving the problem. Is that what we mean when we say in the contract that you cannot call the customer? No. What we mean, by the way, this is not legal advice, but what we mean is don't be calling, stealing my freaking contracts.
Yeah, we're not even a brokerage.
So of course I'm not calling your stupid customer, to steal that already cheap rate lane that I can do for even less.
So
hell no.
Yeah, and then this is what happens. Trust me, the first line of defense is we're going to try to involve the broker and do it the right way. But if the guy is not moving, and he's out to lunch right now, he'll be back. Or if the guy is not in motion to help fix our problem, we got to find another way.
And some of them, we don't even know any better. We saw a truck on a TV once or twice. We're not really in the trucking. Me, I have owner operator there. I know the parking is limited. I know he's in everybody's way. I know it's annoying. We want to get him empty and out of there. How about that?
Yeah.
And if somebody never been in that situation, we don't have that feeling. I personally been in those situations myself.
Yeah. So, but I also feel that not just that, because they're so green to the game that they actually think that like it says here, that waiting is part of the solution rather than creating one. So when the customer's like, oh yeah, we'll email you back. Bobby's out to lunch, so we'll see. No, bitch, please. We know that the shift is gonna end here. I'm looking at the line of trucks that all have appointments. Everything is real on my end versus
everything is real and everything is now.
Yeah, versus you're let me see. I'm waiting on an email. How long does it fucking take to write an email? So that's kind of those are the issues. And so how can an owner operator train themselves to think like a problem solver, not a problem reporter?
As a matter of fact, first of all, don't create problems. Don't be the guy creating the problems. So even if you're dealing with an asshole or a problematic individual there, get out of the way, call the office, let the office handle it. It's going to be much better than you going to try to now beat somebody up.
No, yeah,
and you're going to look like a bigger man. If anybody has to walk through that situation again and look at everything, you're going to look like a professional driver that came in, got a lot of shit thrown at him and walked away. You're going to look professional.
Yeah, because how you show up is going to make a difference, because remaining professional, people must want to help you.
Yes, and if your dispatcher cannot solve it, I have a dispatcher who can. Give us a call, 863-342-5171, and this is what we do. We solve people problems.
Yep. So do you believe that most of the trucking problems are solved in the office or in the field?
I think most of it depends what level problems. I would say most problems should be solved in the office.
Yeah.
One thing that I could just suggest owner operators in the field, don't be the individual who caused that problem. That's all.
Or amplifies it.
Amplifies it, yes. It's okay. It's trucking. Shit is going to happen.
Yeah,
we will get into situations and we will get out of those situations. Just don't make it worse. Let your dispatcher solve it. If your dispatcher sucks at solving problems, let the ops manager know about it. At the end of the day, people who are not directly there in somebody's face can solve those problems much more effectively, because we're going to reach out much further than you from the receiving window.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk to the right people at the right time. And if we know what we're doing, can we solve every problem impeccable? No. But we can solve a lot of problems a lot better than anything else.
So, yep. So relax, take a deep breath, don't amplify it, stay the course.
Call your dispatch, go to the truck, let them deal with that. And if we can't, again, you know where to find us.
All right, guys, be safe, drive safe. Make sure you watch, smash that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. We got a 9 o'clock live every morning, Monday to Friday. Make sure you watch that.
Yep. All owner operator questions answered right there on the live, on the spot. All right, guys, take care.
Operators looking for the best business owner opportunity, look no further. I got all the programs that are going to make you successful. Everything to operating from 2 different fuel cards, top of the line trailers with a maintenance program that is unbeatable, to plates, insurance, you name it, we got it. All you got to do is give us a call, 863-342-5171. Learn more and get started.